In this lesson, we are going to see about importance of costing in new product development. As I said, costing varies various methods. Unit costing, job costing, contract costing, and the process costing. So unit costing is as I said, we have given some example to make you to understand basically on the unit costing, like brick manufacturing or anything. And the same way, customer also they look at it. If your volume increases, they will say, give me the unit costing, maybe 1000 numbers, 100 numbers. Likewise, they used to do, and your amortization also should work like that. It's based on the unit costing. They will never go that if somebody is manufacturing brick, you will not ask, you are not charging, they will charge only on the brick cost. One brick is going to be this much rate. But if you take the same way component, they will include everything on all the cost will they get include. They will say if you take maybe 1000 number, only one quantity there is a number. The job costing is predominantly, just to give an example, somebody you are leaving your car for service, your bike for service, or repairing of the building. Generally they put in terms of, in case of painting, they do paint cost, then the labor cost. So likewise, the job costing is predominantly, maybe you can include, suppose if you are doing some job work, you can make them, because you are doing, you are not producing mass level, you are producing a small quantity in numbers. For either customer will give the items like a fixture, cutting tools, or maybe sometimes even machine they will give, which you can produce with the labor. For you will be charging maybe some of the content, maybe a fixtures, maybe for gauge and labor cost, which you can do depending upon the customer. If the customer gives gauges, fixtures, only machine hour rate you have to put, you can put it. The contract cost is example of just be given, it's like a big job, like a big contract. Maybe you can say repairing of the machine, it involves. Same way the process costing. Generally the people said no, example mold and die or mechanical of assembly costing, which involves a different process. See, as I said, if you take even an automobile component, or even if you take a mold and die, it has to initially machined, then hardened, then powder coated, because it's like a process. Machining, hardened, then powder coated, all this which you should look at it. For you should know basically on which type of casting which you should know. It's everybody knows this. Why the costing is very, very important. Very important. No orders. People always say any company, the salary or maybe any expenses, everything, the customer is always the king. And it's very important always to maintain the order or to get the new order. As I said, no company will always give you the order for lifetime. As I said, in the world always it will be some, even a big companies like Maruti or Ford or Hyundai or internally with the very big corporates, they internally give it to their vendor, sometime monthly basis, sometime daily basis. It's very, very important. Say what happens is, if you are not dynamic enough to get the order, definitely which you will be into trouble. What happens is, always the people will look forward for new businesses, and for that it should be quick and accurate. Say what happened is, if you are trying to quote very low, and at the end you will be making a loss, and finally you cannot supply to the customer in a long way, and you are going to ask for the price revision, no customer will give, and overquote will leads to no customer will give second chance or third chance unless otherwise you have a relationship. For overquoting, if you are doing, you will losing the order. And same way, whatever the costing you are doing it has to be in the stipulated delivery period. In case if your delivery period is not been met, even some customer they quote very high. If you want delivery within a month, this is a cost, X cost. If you want to in 1 month, if you want to do it within 1 week, 2x or 3x, even, because depending upon the necessity, customer will go forward with the costing. What's the steps involved in process costing? Because predominantly in any CNC machining, new product development, this is the process. First is you have to study the drawing, and as always said in the introduction also, drawing study, even if the customer give a 3D model, which you need to study the drawing, you need to see the tolerances, you need to see what all the process planning is very important. Based on the casting and machining comparison, or based on the machined drawing, you are going to select the machine CNC machines. If a machine tool is having a through coolant, then your through coolant, then your tool selection is based on even the machine tool. For if the machine doesn't have a through coolant, then you have to use different types of drill. In case if your machine is having a through coolant, then you can use a U drill. There is no need for pellet drill. And same way the fixtures, based on the volume, you decide whether to go ahead with manual clamping or hydraulic clamping. Then it's very important tool cost. Many people, they go with the European brands or imported brands, or some of them they buy it in locally. If you go with the locally, that's very soon it will get worn out. And the same way they add it a fixture cost. Sometimes customers may give a fixture cost and material cost. Generally customer, some of them they give with material, without material. If the customer gives a material, then you have to add other cost. If the customer said you buy it from your vendor, maybe casting or forging, then you have to add that cost also, and predominantly labor cost, which you should add it, and finally packing and delivery, transport and delivery at the customer. In case the customer is in your city, it's in Bhubaneshwar, or it is in wherever the city you are from, Delhi, Bangalore or Chennai, then the cost varies. In case that cost you have to add it actually. So that's the reason always people prefer the local vendor. This is typically one sample costing sheet.